So today's verse, very important verse, very famous verse. We have Madanga player, we have everything. What is wrong? The camera is broken, you said. Now it's okay. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Jai Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivakacharya Sarsi Samad, His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivakacharya Sarsi Samad, Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Srila Thakur Bhakti Vinoda Ki Jai. Srila Gokishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Sri Guru Parampara Ki Jai. Ananti Koti Vaisnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Go Premananda. Hari Hari Bol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, everyone together please. Om Jnana Timarandasya Ganandana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yukta Padakamalang Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Prijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padang Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karana Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapcha Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavanishwari Prishavana Sutadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakaupatarubhyascha Kripa Sindho Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So, reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, translation and commentary Srila Prabhupada. Today's verse, very famous verse, 434, chapter 4, Transcendental Knowledge. Please repeat. Tad viddhi praṇipātena paripraśnena sevayā upadekṣyanti te jñānaṁ jñāninas tattva-darśinaḥ tad viddhi praṇipātena paripraśnena sevayā upadekṣyanti te jñānaṁ jñāninas tattva-darśinaḥ tad viddhi praṇipātena paripraśnena sevayā upadekṣyanti te jñānaṁ jñāninas tattva-darśinaḥ. Okay, go ahead. Upadekṣyanti te jñānaṁ jñāninas tattva-darśinaḥ pātena paripraśnena sevayā te jñānaṁ jñāninas tattva-darśinaḥ praṇipātena paripraśnena sevayā upadekṣyanti te jñānaṁ jñāninas tattva-darśinaḥ tad viddhi praṇipātena paripraśnena sevayā jñānaṁ. Okay, word for word, please repeat. Tad viddhi, that knowledge of different sacrifices. Try to understand. Praṇipātena, by approaching a spiritual master. Paripraśnena, by submissive inquiries. Sevayā, by the rendering of service. Upadekṣyanti, they will initiate. Te, you, jñānaṁ, into knowledge. Jñāninas, the self-realized. Tattva, of the truth. Darshan, seers. Translation, Srila Prabhupada. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Please repeat. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Purport, Srila Prabhupada. The path of spiritual realization is undoubtedly difficult. The Lord therefore advises us to approach a bona fide spiritual master in the line of disciplic succession from the Lord himself. No one can be a bona fide spiritual master without following this principle of disciplic succession. The Lord is the original spiritual master, and a person in the disciplic succession can convey the message of the Lord as it is to his disciple. No one can be spiritually realized by manufacturing his own process, as is the fashion of the foolish pretenders. The Bhagavatam 6.3.19 says, Dharmam tu shakshad bhagavat pranihitam. The path of religion is directly enunciated by the Lord. Therefore, mental speculation or dry arguments cannot help lead one to the right path. Nor by independent study of books of knowledge can one progress in spiritual life. One has to approach a bona fide spiritual master to receive the knowledge. Such a spiritual master should be accepted in full surrender, and one should serve the spiritual master like a menial servant, without false prestige. Satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. Inquiries and submission constitute the proper combination for spiritual understanding. Unless there is submission and service, inquiries from the learned spiritual master will not be effective. One must be able to pass the test of the spiritual master, and when he sees the genuine desire of the disciple, he automatically blesses the disciple with genuine spiritual understanding. In this verse, both blind following and absurd inquiries are condemned. Not only should one hear submissively from the spiritual master, but one must also get a clear understanding from him in submission and service and inquiries. A bona fide spiritual master is by nature very kind toward the disciple. Therefore, when the student is submissive and is always ready to render service, the reciprocation of knowledge and inquiries becomes perfect. Mukam karochi vachalam pangam naite grim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinadarinam. Tadvidi praṇipātena paripraśnena sevayā upadekṣyanti jñānaṁ jñāninas tattva-darśinaḥ. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Yes, so like I said, this is a very famous verse. Everybody knows this verse. It's very famous and everyone knows this verse because it's very, 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 very important. In this spiritual world, in the material world, we are covered by nescience. We're in this material world and we're not sure what the best course of action is. So as Prabhupada says there, we tend to speculate and we make up philosophies and we make up our own form of religion in answer to this inadequacy. And the knowledge of the Vedas stays far away because we prefer to speculate. And generally, because we're speculating to our own convenience. Oh, I speculate that it's very good to take bhang. I speculate it's very good to take drugs. I speculate it's very good to believe in this prophet. I speculate in this way, or this interpretation, or this course of action, or this philosophy. I speculate that there is no God. I speculate that there should be globalism. I speculate that there should be communism. Everyone is coming up with some philosophy of life. But as stated there in the purport by Prabhupada, dharmam tu shakshad bhagavat pranihitam. The path of religion, dharma means duty. Because we have living entities, we have a duty. Yes, we are created, but not to act whimsically. We have a duty. And through our duty, fulfillment of our dharma, we become fulfilled. Just like in the material world, if the parents have a child and they fulfill their duties to the child, they feel fulfilled. Oh, the child is grown up, is educated, healthy, and a good member of society. This is material example. We feel fulfilled. We have done well as parents. So Krishna, aham bija pitaha, he is the Supreme Father, the living entity, Mabai Angsa. We are the emanation. Krishna is the source of the living entity. So we have a duty towards Krishna. That is called our dharma. And the good example of this was at the beginning of the Bhagavatam. Maharaj Parikshit, he was cursed. You're going to die in 7 days. You disrespected my father. He could have passed it away, but he accepted it. Now he had 7 days to live, so his inquiry was what? Oh, let me enjoy for 7 days. No, he gathered all the saints and sages. They heard he was going to leave in 7 days. And his question was, now I'm about to die, what is my duty? What is my dharma? So he was a pious king. He was Parikshit Maharaj. He was a great king in the line of the Pandavas and so forth. So he was not taking a position of leadership, as we see nowadays, as a means of exploiting the people. He was taking a position in a sense of dharma. So there's the Kshatriya. Kshatriya means Chat, harm, Triya, one that delivers the people from harm. So that doesn't just mean material harm, but it also means giving them spiritual knowledge, because that is the real deliverance from material harm. We are in the cycle of birth, death, old age and disease. So the Kshatriya is meant to combine in the Vedic society with the learned Brahmana. The Brahmanas are the gurus of society. And Brahmana Janati Brahman. They are the gurus. Why? Brahman Janati Brahman. The real Brahmana, not caste Brahman, not this Apasampradaya, I'm born a Brahman, therefore I am a Brahman. No. The real Brahman is the person who knows Janati Brahman, who knows the Supreme. Confirmed. That, or maybe that's a Brahmana shooting at me, I don't know. Anyway, the fact is that if a person is realized in Brahman, then he's Brahmana. Because in the Vedic paradigm, knowledge is one thing, but realization is another. You may have book knowledge, that's very good, that's a good start. But realization of Brahman, and that is mentioned by Krishna here. Jñāninas tattva-darśinaḥ. He has had the darshan of Krishna. So that is the sublime Brahman. Now in Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he also in the Jaiva Dharma, he explains, I've explained before, 3 types of darshan that the Supreme Lord bestows. One is bhava. The Supreme Lord may bestow spiritual emotion upon the disciple, and experiencing that spiritual awakening within the consciousness, he realizes Brahman to some extent. I'm feeling Brahman, I'm experiencing a level of consciousness that I have not felt before. Brahman. So then second is vak. Vak means the Supreme Lord may actually speak to you. But he'll speak to you aloud, but in the spiritual platform. And then the third form of darshan is darshina, when you actually see the form of the Lord. That is there at the beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam. If you remember, Narada Muni, he served the Bhaktivedantas during Chaturmas. Now is Chaturmas, the rain is there. These Bhaktivedantas, they were sitting, not traveling. They were sitting in a resting house, in an ashram, and his mother and himself were serving. And they instructed Narada Muni, he was a small boy, how to meditate upon the form of Vishnu. And no doubt other things necessary. So later on, they left, traveling after the Chaturmas. So his mother, it's explained there in the Bhagavatam, bound him by the rope of affection. He was very interested in going to the holy places and doing the bhajan of Krishna. He was practicing his smaranam, meditation on the form. And then his mother one day was bitten, going out to get water, was bitten by a snake. She passed on. So he was free then. And he was traveling one evening remembering the form of Krishna. And then that is called Manusik Deity. It is a deity, just like we have deity in the temple made out of the material elements, but it's dedicated to Krishna, so Krishna is manifesting through that deity. Manusik deity means the deity created within the mind, the form of Krishna. We learn from the Shastra what is the form of Shamsundar, what is the form of Vishnu, and we construct that form within our mind, and then we do bhajan by chanting and offering prayers to that form. So Narada Muni one evening was doing that, and instead of the Manusik deity, Krishna appeared in his vision directly. And it explained there in the Bhagavatam, he felt great ecstasy, all his senses were enlivened, his consciousness. And then the form disappeared. So he felt, oh, let me return to this meditation. Let me bring that form, that delightful, that full revelation of the form of Krishna back. But he couldn't. So he was feeling separation, vipralamba, oh, this, that. And then Krishna spoke to him. He said, Narada, or I don't know exactly, it's not called Narada at this point. I have appeared to you just to encourage you in your spiritual practice. Those that are not completely purified cannot see me. But I have appeared to you so that you will always remember me and in that way become fully purified. So Narada Muni took that instruction of the Lord, understood the mercy of the Lord. Yes, the Lord has appeared to me to inspire me. Something similar is there in Ajamil, right? Ajamil, at the time of death, he saw the Vishnu Dutas, near-death experience, you could say. And he had a great revelation of the form and the spiritual platform. So that is often the case. With the neophyte, he may not be completely established in bhava and praying, but Krishna, seeing his sincerity, appears. So he can appear in three ways: bhava, prem, vak, and darshan, to inspire the disciple. And the thing is, here we come to the qualification of the disciple, the spiritual. He must be sincere. Because this verse here, you all know it, it gives the qualification of the guru and the qualification of the disciple. And so if we are to understand what is disciplic succession, then that is not very complicated. There is a lot written, there is a lot in the Shastra, but if we bring it down to the essence, it is just three words: qualified teacher and qualified student. Right? Just like the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is the qualified teacher and Arjuna is the qualified student. Right? So one is teacher, one is student. What are the qualifications? Prabhupada deals with that very nicely in the Purport. And that is also very simple. Jñāninas tattva-darśinaḥ, just like I explained. Narada Muni progressed, and it explained there in the Bhagavatam that when the time of death arrived, it's explained in the Bhagavatam that just like lightning and thunder occur simultaneously, so when he left this material body, simultaneously he was established in his spiritual body. So that is success. That is called siddha. That is swarup siddhi. When the devotee is established in his spiritual form. That is dormant within the soul, but by bhakti sadhana, the soul will blossom and the swarup will become active. Jivera swarupoi nichera Krishna das. Every soul is equipped with spiritual form and spiritual mood, and by sadhana bhakti we awaken that. So Krishna is the ultimate spiritual master, and so here is the qualification of the spiritual master. Jñāninas tattva-darśinaḥ. Now that you may think, well, I don't know anyone who has seen Krishna. Well, those that have seen Krishna, who have had Krishna Darshan, they're generally very chaste about their spiritual experience. If somebody speaks their spiritual qualifications in the marketplace, then we can understand that maybe he's a charlatan, maybe he's a big talker, maybe he's an empty can rattling in public. The realized soul keeps his relationship with Krishna deep within the heart, and he is always enwrapped in reciprocation with Krishna. We saw that with Srila Prabhupada. One time Prabhupada was asked on a morning walk, Srila Prabhupada, what is your relationship to Krishna? Prabhupada went very quiet. And he said, if I told you, you would be shocked. That is one of his statements. So it is not something, to be generally cast into the public eye. It is a private matter, especially because conditioned souls, they're very sarcastic, very cynical. They don't believe that there is a spiritual platform and so on. So, as it says in the Bible, right, don't cast your pearls before swine, lest they trample them underfoot. So, but that is the qualification. So that means parishat. There's two types of devotee. There is sadhaka. In the material world, the sadhaka is performing sadhana bhakti under the direction of Guru, Shastra, and Acharya. And there is parishat. Parishat means somebody who through bhava and prem bhakti has realized fully their own relationship, their individual relationship with the Supreme Lord. Parishat means associate. So, you might think, well, who is parishat? So, Bhaktivinoda talks on this point in the Jaiva Dharma. He says, if a sadhaka feels that, and this is also a very important point now, we come to a delicate point. One, Raghunath Das Goswami, he took Diksha from Kula Guru, the family guru. And then he joined Mahaprabhu in Puri. And when the devotees came to associate with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Puri, they would be directed to They would be directed to Swarup Damodar. Swarup Damodar would then direct them to a Shiksha Guru, arrange their accommodation and look after them, put them in the ashram. And then they would get instruction. And so, interesting point that Raghunath Das, he did not get reinitiated, he did not this and that, because there are many manifestations of Guru, and they must all be accepted. The important thing is to take shiksha from the jñāninas tattva-darśinaḥ, the Uttama Adhikari. There are three levels of Vaishnava. There is the Vaishnava, Vaishnava Tara, and Vaishnava Tama. Tama means topmost, Tara means middling, and Vaishnava. And these start from anartha and nivritti. Vaishnava starts from nishta, not from shraddha and bhajana kriya and anartha and nivritti, but Vaishnava starts from the platform of being nishta. And nishta means that fixed. It means like Dhruva. Dhruva Maharaj was fixed in his determination. Nishta means to be fixed in your awakening mood of devotion. That is Raga Nuga Bhakti. Raga means attraction. But attraction to Krishna takes the form of attraction Dasya Bhav, Sakya Bhav, Vatsalya bhav, Madhurya bhav. It takes different spiritual moods. So Vaishnava starts with that, with being nishta, anatha-nivritti. The material agitation and conditioning is very much lessened, and then the spiritual nature becomes activated. Like it says in Chaitodapana Marjanam Bhavamahani Vagni Navapanam. At the beginning we clarify the mind. We purify the mind. Then the bhava rog becomes less. The material agitation becomes less. Then that is auspicious. Then vidya vadu jivanam. Vidya vadu jivanam means the knowledge of the soul of that individual person's spiritual relationship comes out, just like the plant comes out of the seed. That is vidya vadu jivanam anandam buddhivadhanam. And then that leads to ananda, that leads to bhava, and that leads to full realization of Krishna and our relationship with Krishna. So, process of sadhana is that. So, when vidya vadu jivanam is there, when the soul has awoken to the relationship with Krishna, that is Vaishnava. So Vaishnava Tara is a good progressed sadhaka, and Vaishnava Tama is fully realized. So Swarup Damodar would direct all the devotees that were assembling in Puri to have association with Mahaprabhu. He would direct them to different Shiksha gurus, and they would progress in their Raganuga sadhana. That is the special mercy of Mahaprabhu, that he has said, yes, Vaidhi Bhakti is very good, but you must learn Raganuga sadhana. Based on raga, this awakening a spiritual attraction in a particular mood to the Supreme Lord and his devotees. That is Raganuga sadhana. That leads to a Shakti, Bhava and Prem. So, they were getting great instruction. Now, in Chaitanya Shikshamrita, translated by Banuswami, very nice, very important book, Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains a very important point. That a devotee may say, I have many devotee friends, and I love them all dearly, I love their sangha, we have nice prasad and kirtan, but I don't know if they're jñāninas tattva-darśinaḥ. I don't know if they've had the full darshan of the Supreme Lord. But I am told to take instruction from them. Now, that does not mean that you cannot take instruction and association and encouragement from the Vaishnava or the Vaishnava Tara, somebody on a lower platform. We all have to work together and support one another. But the words of the Uttama Vaishnava, the liberated soul, they have a special quality. They are non-different from the instructions of the Supreme Lord, because that Uttama Vaishnava is perfected in realization of Krishna. So his description, just like Krishna is saying, jñāninas tattva-darśinaḥ, approach one who is jñāninas tattva-darśinaḥ. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he explains there in Chaitanya Shikshamrita, he says, you can approach the acharyas. You can read the commentary of Srila Prabhupada. You can read Brahma Samhita. That is Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada. His commentary is there. It is based on the commentary of Jiva Goswami in the Brahma Samhita. Prabhupada, he translated and commented on the Chaitanya Charitamrita, 17 volumes in 2 months. How did he do it? He was using the commentaries of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta, translating them, summarizing them, and other. Can you imagine the power of Srila Prabhupada to do that in 2 months? He had a big publication team, but they couldn't keep up with the production of Srila Prabhupada. So these commentaries of the Vedas, and Prabhupada mentions the Shastra Dharmam tu Shakshat Bhagavad Panihitam, that is given by the Supreme Lord, and it is fully elucidated by the Acharyas. Therefore, at the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, there is a list, I think it's 22, Brahma, Narada, so on and so forth. So it is not a Diksha Sampradaya, it is a Sampradaya of great Acharyas. Now both things will be there. It is called Pariva, the Diksha Sampradaya. I remember Ayendra, many years ago, he gave me a piece of paper with the Diksha, our Diksha Sampradaya, and it is coming from Nityananda Prabhu. But some people say, maybe it is Advaita because Advaita Acharya, Gokishore Das Babaji was in the Advaita Parivar, and it's some contest discussion about that with Bhakti Vinod Thakur and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta. But Ayendra was quite, I researched this, we're in the Nityananda Parivar, because there's Parivar coming from Srivas Thakur, coming from Advaita Chandra, coming from Nityananda, so on and so forth. That means family, Diksha Sampradaya there. But our Sampradaya stresses Shiksha. Diksha is a formalization of a Shiksha relationship. Diksha, it means div. It's two words, di and sha. Sha, like I say, Kshatriya. Sha means the instructions, the Diksha of the Guru protects you from material conditioning. And di means he gives spiritual knowledge, spiritual practice by which the spiritual nature blossoms. So two things are there. Diksha means you are given instruction, knowledge that protects you from the Maya Shakti and at the same time introduces you to the spiritual Shakti. That is Diksha. So that is very important, there's no doubt. But Diksha Guru is one. We say Om Jnana Timarandasya, right? I offer my respects to all my spiritual masters. So we can take instruction from the great Acharyas in their commentary. Therefore Prabhupada praised and recommended the books of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur and the writings of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta and his writings, of course. But generally, one study of the Shastra, which is very important, should be performed under the direction of an experienced devotee who knows those Shastra. Shrotriyam, Mundoka Upanishad. One of the qualifications of Guru is Shrotriyam. He should be very accomplished in the Bhakti Shastri and the Shastra. And then he can do, just like if you want to become a doctor. There may be a library full of medical books, but you need an experienced doctor. Now study this, now study that, now study this. Come back to me with questions and so on and so forth. So that is Shiksha Guru. So now we go on, get on to the subject of the different types of Guru. There is Vatma Pradaksha Guru, there is Diksha Guru, there is Shiksha Guru, and there is Chaita Guru. Very good. So, famous one is Bilva Mangala Thakur, right? Chintamani. Bilva Mangala, he was born in high caste Brahmin family, but he had attachment to Chintamani, this courtesan lady. So there was a big storm, he fought across the river, climbed over, and Chintamani was shocked. The door was locked, he climbed over the hill. Chintamani, the beautiful courtesan, said, "Why are you coming through the storm just for this body? Huh? Just imagine if you had such determination to do the bhajan of Krishna. You could attain Krishna." So Bilva Mangala Thakur, this went deep into his heart. So and then he took off for Vrindavan. Maybe Chintamani thought that she should have kept quiet. But anyway, no, she was pleased. But Krishna spoke to Bilva Mangala in that way. So he went, and the story is there. And he took Diksha, Shiksha from all the sadhus. So Diksha is that person that initiates one formally into bhakti sadhana. Now, a lot of information, we've got time. So in the Pancha Samskar, which is published, you can get from the learned Sharanga Thakur, Bhaktivinoda explained what is Diksha, because after Vatma Pradaksha Guru, then you need Diksha Guru. Like Rupa Goswami says, Ato Shraddha, then Sadhu Sangha, then Bhajana Kriya. Bhajana Kriya means from the Sadhu Sangha, some devotee will give you instruction. So that is like a Diksha Guru. Oh, this is what you should do. And you formally accept this teacher. And that is the most important thing, because here Krishna is not giving formal Diksha to Arjuna, but he's giving Shiksha. So the Shiksha in itself is Diksha. It is the bestowal of spiritual knowledge that frees one from Maya Shakti and attaches one to Krishna Shakti. So it is ongoing. So you can get that inspiration from all levels of devotees, because Krishna will speak. So Shiksha Guru is that. One should have only one Diksha Guru, like I said, Raghunath Das Babaji Maharaj. Raghunath, he is Prayojanacharya in our line. He was initiated by Kula Guru, but then he took instruction from Swarup Damodar and so on and forth in that Leela. So that is Shiksha Guru. One should have one Diksha Guru, and one may have many Shiksha Gurus. But generally that Shiksha should be performed under the supervision of an experienced devotee. So that you know what books to read, and you can discuss which Shastra to, and what is the appropriate practice at the appropriate time. So that is Shiksha Guru. So one may have many Shiksha Gurus, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur, like I say, he explains that you can have Shiksha Guru. Shiksha Guru means when we read Srila Prabhupada, that is Shiksha. When we read Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when we read Srila Bhakti Siddhanta, when we read Prem Vaivarta of Jagadananda Pandit, that is Shiksha Guru. When we read the writings of Krishnadas Kaviraj, that is Shiksha Guru. So, Shiksha must be accepted by the disciple, because it is the guidance to the spiritual platform. Now, Diksha. What is Diksha? In Pancha Samskar by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he explains Pancha Samskar, that Diksha is 5 elements. We often hear about first, second, this. What is Diksha? And this is Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He enumerates this in Pancha Samskar, that there are 5 elements to Vaishnava Diksha. First is tapa. First thing that Guru will give is tapa, tapasya. That means now you must live purely. Vacha vega manasa krodave. You must control your tongue, belly and genital. You must eat pure food. So tapasya, that means regulative principles. No meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, all these things, no illicit. You should become celibate, you can have children, no problem. But you should regulate your material activities. So that is tapa. That is the first element of Vaishnava Diksha. Second element of Vaishnava Diksha is tilak. the spiritual master will give tilak. Now you're living purely, so you wear tilak. Vaishnava tilak is vertical. So just like on the temple, on the Vimana, you find tilak. So why is that? So tilak means that this person is living purely, and therefore their body is now a temple of the Supreme Lord. So that is second, tilak. And then at the same time, tulsi beads. Tulsi means that the body is purified, being kept in a purified way, and it is being engaged in sadhana bhakti, so it is an object belonging to the Supreme Lord, and therefore tilak is put there, tulsi bead. Third one is nam. Nam means that what we often call first initiation. Nam means that the spiritual master will give a spiritual name, and he will formally direct you to chant Hare Krishna mantra, or Om Namo Bhagavate Vas, whatever. Dhruva Maharaj was given that mantra, but in our line, the Hare Krishna mantra. So the spiritual master formally gives you the mantra for your cultivation in sadhana. And at the same time, he gives you Nam, spiritual name. Krishna Das, Govinda Das, Gopijana Balavaya Das, Santosh Krishna Das. He gives you a spiritual name. That is third element. Tapa, Tilak, Nam. And that is Bhagavat Marg. That in itself is sufficient to go back to Godhead. Bhagavat Marg means this, the first four elements of Navavidha Bhakti. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam. That is Bhagavat Marg. Anyone can perform them without formal Diksha. But it is, a Diksha relationship is good because the disciple is sheltered under the spiritual master. So then the other two elements of Diksha is, the number 4 is mantra Diksha. This is what Madhavendra Puri gave to the Govardhan Brahmins so that they could worship Archana to the Gopal deity that was found at Govardhan. That is mantra Diksha. So we have Bhagavat Marg, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, and then we have Pancharatriki. That means Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Artnamayam. Starts with Archanam. So that means the formal worship of a murti. So Madhavendra Puri formally initiated the Govardhan Brahmins to worship the deity form of Gopal that was found. Now that is in the possession of the Pushtimarg people, right? I've been there. Udaipur, is it? Where? Nathdwar, yes. They have these big ladus, the size, very big. Yes, Srinathji. So that deity was found there on the Govardhan. So Madhavendra Puri, he gave Diksha. So then that means Archanam. Archanam, that is explained in Hari Bhakti Vilas, one of the scriptures, how to formally worship the deity. Different levels, how to worship Shalagram, how to worship. Archanam Vandanam means to offer prayers. That means the deity should, like we do in our temple, we offer prayers to the deity. But the devotees who are pujaris, they have mantra diksha. That means they are chanting Gayatri mantra and the Gopal mantra and the Kamdeva mantra and mantra to Guru and mantra to Mahaprabhu. And that is done Trisandhyam, right? Morning, noon and evening. Archanam Vandanam, prayers. Sakyam. Archanam Vandanam Dasyam. So the special benefit of deity worship is that it teaches us to become das, to become servant. I'm servant of the deity. I'm cooking for the deity. I'm cleaning the deity. I'm dressing the deity. So it develops seva bhav within the disciple. So dasyam, sakyam. That means sakyam, after you serve Krishna, then Krishna takes you as his friend, and then atmanivedanam. So that starts with the fourth element of Pancha Samskar. There is mantra diksha, now you can worship the deity, and the fifth element of Vaishnava diksha is yagi. Krishna says in the Gita, manmana bhava mad bhakto mad yaji. So when you have sevabhav and you're properly instructed, you perform all your sadhana, all your archanam as an offering to the Krishna, yagi. Sometimes we think, I'll chant for my benefit. But actually, a developed devotee knows that I will chant, I will serve, I will study, I will take prasadam as an offering to Guru and Krishna. So that madhyaji. And that is atmanivedanam. It means that the devotee is now acting for the Supreme Lord. And therefore, he can become easily prem bhakta. He can become parishad. Because in the spiritual world, everyone is acting for Krishna and Krishna's devotees. The material world, everyone is acting for me and my plan, my speculation. So this is the process of Diksha. Tapa, tilak, nam, mantra, and yagi. And this is bestowed by the learned Guru upon the qualified disciple. So there's many things written about disciplic succession, but if you just remember that, qualified Guru, qualified teacher, qualified disciple. The disciple is qualified by sincerity and by listening closely to try and understand the order of the Guru, and then responding by serving the order of the Guru. And the qualified Guru is two things. Well, at the beginning of this chapter, evam parampara praptam, he should be properly initiated in one of the four Vaishnava sampradayas: Lakshmi Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, Nimbaka Sampradaya, that is Kumara Sampradaya, and the Rudra Sampradaya. So our line is the Madhva Gaudiya Brahma Sampradaya. So there is a Sampradaya Acharya in each one of these four lines. So one should be instructed and take initiation in one of those four lines. And then one can understand the Vedas and the Acharyas and the spiritual masters' instructions by their blessing. So that is Shiksha and Diksha Guru. And then at the end, Chaitya Guru. Chaitya Guru means that now the spiritual master, the developed Vaishnava, he is now parishad. And therefore Prabhupada used to read his books, and he used to say, I have not written these books. Krishna has written them. Krishnadas Kaviraj, when he was writing Chaitanya Charitamrita, it said there, I am 80 years old, my body is decrepit, but still I write the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So they become completely empowered by their relationship, their established relationship with the Supreme Lord. So that means they are one in harmony with Chaitya Guru, Krishna in the heart. So the initiated Vaishnava, this is an important point, the materially contaminated person, they have Paramatma in the heart. But you can read Hari Bhakti Vilas, that when one is properly initiated, that means one is now becoming a resident of the spiritual world. And through proper initiation by the bona fide Guru, one now has Sham Sundar within the heart of the soul. Krishna is Atma Atma. He is the soul of the soul. So within the soul, the spiritual world is revealed. That means the disciple is becoming in contact directly with Krishna. And Prabhupada, he explains, what is Krishna consciousness? It means that the consciousness of the individual soul is mixed with the consciousness of Krishna. Nityo nityanam chaitanas chaitananam. That there is one Supreme Soul, eternal, and there is one supremely conscious soul. And we are little souls, and we merge into the consciousness of Krishna, but we retain our individual identity. And that is the process of Diksha. So qualified guru means two things. Mandukya Upanishad. Shrotriyam Brahmanishta. This is the highest level of devotee. He has heard the Vedas. He knows the conclusion of the Vedas. In Disciplic Succession, he has the skill of teaching. And Brahmanishta. Because of his sadhana and the blessing of Guru and Krishna, he is fully established on the transcendental platform. That is Brahma, Shrotriyam Brahmanishta. And the disciple, he becomes Shrotriyam and Brahmanishta by following the instructions of Guru. He goes to that spiritual atmosphere also. So, Tadvidi praṇipātena paripraśnena sevayā. This is a very important verse. There's one sloka, what is it called? Brahmanda brahmite kona bhagyavan jeev Guru Krishna prasadi bhai bhakti lata bij. Also, there's another verse here. If you want to become a guru, this is how you become. Yarideka tarikaha Krishna upadekṣya. Amara agyaya guru tara eidesh. Instruct everyone to follow the orders of Lord Krishna as they are given in Gita and Bhagavatam. In this way, become a spiritual master and try to liberate everyone in this land. So here's Mahaprabhu, Supreme Lord, says, in this way become a guru, by instructing everyone in the science of Krishna consciousness. And then to back that up, also another verse from Chaitanya Charitam, Madhya 8, 128. Kiba vipra kiba nasi sudra kenanai, ye Krishna tattva-veta, say guru hoy. Kiba vipra. Whether one is a Brahmin, a sannyasi, or a Shudra, regardless of caste, he can become a spiritual master if he knows the science of Krishna. So, Amara Agyaya Guru Tara Aidesh. This is the order of Mahaprabhu, that everyone should become Guru. Whether you're a Mataji or a man or you're young or old, everyone should become Guru. And there is a story of Prabhupada. There was one, Shyam Sundar had a daughter, and she was a pretty little thing, 8 years old. And Prabhupada, he had a guest once. They used to come to see Prabhupada in the afternoon. And that little daughter of Shyam Sundar, she popped up like children do, and she said to the guest in front of Prabhupada, she said, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So she just said it spontaneously. So Prabhupada said, this is Guru. Right? So don't think that Guru is something in the stratosphere. Right? You practice being Guru. You learn the Bhagavatam, you learn the Shastra, and you tell people. Right? Okay, thank you all very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. There's many verses Mahaprabhu is encouraged, Bharati Bhumi, if you're born in India, become a guru. Okay, Sharanga. Yes. 1 minute, Mr. Cameraman. Yes.
So, like you said, only one initiated guru.
Sorry?
One had to have only one initiated guru.
Yes.
Shiksha Guru Nadi.
Yes. That is good to have many Shiksha Gurus because it gives confidence. They're all saying the same thing. Go on.
Also is saying that if Guru is not in parampara, then he can change. That is true, and you can explain a little more about that. If, like, initiated Guru is not in the parampara, means Bunapad parampara, then he can change that.
You mean you can have many gurus, instructing gurus, but if one takes Diksha outside, you mean, say, from a Mayavadi guru or just somebody that's unqualified? Yes, you can be reinitiated into a Vaisnava Sampradaya. There's no problem with that. But if they are initiated, if, you know, the first guru, the Diksha guru, if they are a good devotee, sincere devotee, you shouldn't be reinitiated because Krishna has come in that way. You see, Ramanujacharya, he wanted to take Diksha from Yamunacharya. But so he approached Yamunacharya, but just before he met Yamunacharya, who wrote a great commentary on the Gita, he died. You know that. So he took Diksha from one of the disciples of Yamunacharya, but he's known as the great disciple of Yamunacharya. So we're all Shiksha disciples of all the Acharyas, right? We're Shiksha disciples of Mahaprabhu, Madhavendra Puri, Satyabhama, Jagannananda Pandit. We take Madhavendra Puri, the 6 Goswamis, they're all our Shiksha Gurus. But we don't disregard Diksha Guru. Diksha Guru must also be seen as a manifestation of Guru. Krishna has come in that way. He has come as Chintamani, as Vāma Pradaksha Guru, like Dhruva Maharaj. His mother said, oh, you want to meet Vishnu? The sadhus, they go to the forest. So she's his Vāma Pradaksha Guru. Vāma Pradaksha means one who shows the path. So Krishna, he will come in many different ways. Because ultimately, all the different gurus and Vaishnavas are carrying the Shakti of Krishna. What is that verse? Krishna Shakti Vina Nahi Tara Pravatena. So sometimes, many times, a devotee will say something to you and it will just, wow. That is Krishna coming to you. So we should be attentive to the instruction of Krishna. We shouldn't have focus. This one person, nobody else, they're all nonsense. No, we should understand that Krishna is everywhere. Because, listen to this, after you have become realized by mercy of Guru and Krishna, having obtained real knowledge from a self-realized soul, you will never fall again into such illusion, material illusion. For by this knowledge, you will see that all living beings are but part of the Supreme, are in the Supreme, and they are mine. This is the realized state. That everyone, Mama Angsa, Jiva Loka, everybody is the expansion of Krishna. Sometimes we think, Parashuram is the expansion of Krishna, Vedavyas is the expansion of Krishna, so on. Matsya is there is the Vishnus. But we have to realize that all living entities are the expansion of Krishna. Yes, go ahead.
So, like you say, Adi Sraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan, Kriya, Anartha, Nivriti, Nishtha, like 9 steps of the bhakti. But you said Vaishnava start with the Nishtha. So, Vaishnava bhakti starting with the Nishtha. So
Yes. So that is discussed by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I made a specific mental note. Yes, we also say that there is Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyamadikari and Uttamadikari. Uttamadikari means Parishat is realized in Krishna greatly. So Madhyamadikari means Nishtha. He's overcome material conditioning to a great extent. He's fixed in bhakti. And then there is Kanishtadikari, right? So they are also called Pakrita Bhakta, materialistic devotee. They're also called Chaya Bhakti, shadow of a devotee. They're also called Bhakta Abhyas, a semblance of a devotee. They are not yet qualified to take the name of Vaishnava. They're Kanishta Adhikari. But they are called Bhakta. Why? That is explained by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Because they accept the form of Krishna as eternal truth. They're approaching Krishna, approaching Krishna, but they're Pakrita Bhakta because they have not understood the Dashamula. They have not understood that Krishna is approached for bhakti, not for material result. So that's why they call Prakrita Bhakti. Lacking Siddhanta, they may approach Krishna and say, help my business, Krishna. I gave you a garland of tulsi. Help my wife. She's in hospital with appendix. I'm giving you flower garland. Help my wife. So Prakrita Bhakta. They accept Krishna as reality, as Sat. But they do not understand the real relationship between a devotee and the Supreme Lord. So they are materially motivated. But now if they learn Siddhanta, if they learn Dashamula, if they learn the Vedic conclusion, if they learn what is Bhakta from a qualified teacher, they can become Madhyamadikari. You understand? So then that is Vaishnava. Because the Vaishnava, the special quality of the Vaishnava means the servant of Vishnu. He is serving Vishnu for the sake of Vishnu. This is Shuddha Bhakti, right? Anukulyena Krishnanu Shilanam Bhakti Uttamo. Before that, Jnana Kyamani Anyabhilasita Sunyam Jnana Kamani Anavritam. Anyabhilasita Sunya means the devotee doesn't approach Krishna for some material benediction. Sunyam. And he doesn't want to merge into Krishna. He doesn't want some material fruit like residence in the heavenly planets. That is, he is Anukulyena Krishnanu Shilanam Bhakti Uttama. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakta Uchite. He is serving Krishna out of prema, out of bhava, for the sake of Krishna. And what Krishna bestows upon him, he takes that as mercy, as prasad. But we can be confident that Krishna reciprocates. And it is a fact that Krishna fulfills the desires of his devotee. Just like Dhruva Maharaj, right? He approached Krishna, I want a kingdom bigger than my father. So Krishna gave him Dhruva Loka. It's a spiritual planet. So it is, Krishna says, Yayatam mam prapadyante tam seva bhajamiham. And the Bhagavatam also says, Kama esha krodha esha, Akama savakama muksha kama udharyade trivrena bhakti yogena jajate purusham param. That whether you have all material desires, no material desire, if you want liberation, you should still approach Krishna. Because by approaching Krishna, you'll become purified eventually. So therefore, Prakrita Kanishtadikari, we should respect. They are approaching Krishna and they realize Krishna is reality. But they haven't come to that platform whereby their personal motivations are going and they are feeling the bhava of prema. Is that clear? Yes, go on.
Pardon. Like you say, like Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami, Srila Prabhupada, they were empowered by Chetaguru.
Chetaguru.
So like we know one story, once one reporter came to Prabhupada and Prabhupada explained him, I didn't read these books, Krishna's.
Yes.
But then he was not understood. Then Prabhupada's secretary tried to specify in there that because Krishna is seated in everybody's heart, so Krishna is empowered. But Prabhupada immediately said, no, don't speculate. I didn't say that. So how you can understand?
Yes. Yeah, Prabhupada said, I didn't write these books, Krishna did. And then a devotee said, he tried to explain that to the guest. And he said to the guest, what Prabhupada means, well, first mistake is to try and instruct somebody in the presence of your guru. That is bad etiquette. And particularly if your guru is so elevated in situation. But anyway, so the devotee said, what Srila Prabhupada means is that Krishna is in the heart of everyone, so when he's writing these books or giving the dictaphone recitation, then Krishna is speaking through him, right? Something like that, that devotee said. Prabhupada said, no, Krishna directly wrote these books. So, Prabhupada's position, like I say, Prabhupada said, if you knew the devotees were always asking, Prabhupada, what's your relationship with Krishna? Prabhupada said, if I told you, you would faint. That's what Prabhupada said. And that's still a topic of debate in our society. Some devotees say this, but personally, I think we shouldn't come to conclusions about these great personalities. We will be speculating. We should just worship personalities like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, Srila Prabhupada, Madhavendra Puri, Jagannatha Pandit, Krishna, right, Sad Goswami, these great acharyas. We should not try to be judgmental. I think they. We may discuss, no problem. But we should be careful about thinking, I know, right? You see the point? You see the point? It's very important. We should not think I can come to a conclusion, because the spiritual world, the spiritual platform, Krishna and Krishna's devotees, we should practice humility. There's a saying, is there not? A little learning is a dangerous thing, right? If you read a medical book for 5 minutes and then you think, I'm a doctor now. You see my point? We should always underestimate our spiritual understanding. We should always, the Roman culture, they said, I forgot the Latin, always stay student, right? We should always think, I'm a student of the acharyas, I'm a student of the Shastra. We should not think, I'm the master, I have come to the ultimate. Just like if you want to play a musical instrument, if you think, oh, I'm a master musician, you'll become puffed up, right? You'll stop practicing. But if you think, I'm a student, then you continue your practice and you'll progress. So Krishna is an unlimited subject. Nobody can come to the end of understanding Krishna. Correct? Nobody. So we always stay student. Even Krishna is trying to understand as Mahaprabhu, right? Why does Radharani find me so beautiful, so attractive? That is, right? That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is it about me that why is Radharani so dedicated to me? I can't understand it. So it is said like that. Even Krishna doesn't understand himself in that way, right? But through the great acharyas we understood that we understand Krishna through bhava, through love, not through intellect, right? Just like the mother, she understands the child how? By love, right? I love the child, so now I know what to do for the child. So prem, spiritual love, is a platform beyond material rationality. It is supported there. But in the spiritual world, everyone is in prem. And understanding is a side effect. Everyone is reciprocating in prem, in divine love. And that is how they understand bhakti. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you for coming to class, listening so carefully. Much appreciated. Srila Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita Sadhu Sangha Ki Jai.